This is Tiger Singleton, aka Tig Monk, and I wanted to share a little secret with you. And what this secret is that the problem that you think you're having in life is the same problem that everyone's having. Welcome to the human experience. You see, when we look at what it is that bothers us so much in life, that which seems to be in the way, when we get really honest, it's not this person or that person, it's not this experience or that experience, it's this fundamental core belief that who you are isn't enough. That's the great deficiency, this sense of inadequacy, that you're ill-prepared to handle what life might throw at you. And I invite you to see this from a different perspective, that the opportunity in life is to discover what you really are. Because if you listen to the nonsense in your mind that says you're not good enough, that you should have done this or you should have done this, the reality of it is that in this moment right now, and here, just sit here with me, just be still for a second and notice that this moment, where are you? Are you that story of yesterday? Are you that fearful projection in the future? Not the idea of you, but the realness. Right now, you're well, you're breathing. Yes, I know it hasn't gone how you hoped it was gonna go. Maybe everything didn't work out like you thought it would, but guess what? You're here. And in this moment, you're okay. And the difficulty is believing all of that nonsense in the mind that isn't even really you. It's a conditioned idea that we're fed as we're born into a innocently but fearfully dominated society. And the opportunity is to see through that fear and see the truth of what you are. Not the idea of you, but the realness. That in this moment right now, beyond all the nonsense in the mind, feel it with me here, right now, you're okay. So rest here. See, this is the realness of you. It's not in the mind. It's not the story. It's not all of the things you think you want. Because you know what you really want? Not to get in your business and tell you something that you don't know. You know this. You want what everybody wants. It's some element of love, peace, joy, the freedom to be yourself. Do you notice this? It's like what we really want is to just relax and say, I just want to be what I am. If I'm sad, I want to be sad and to know that that's okay. If I'm angry, I want to be angry and really feel what I am. We have this idea that we've accumulated that there's something about the naturalness of you that isn't okay, that doesn't fit into a society where everyone's pretending to be okay. But the reality of the human experience is that we feel deeply, that sometimes we get scared. Sometimes we don't know what's going to happen. But my friend, this is the adventure. It's not something that you have to be afraid of. It's something that you can dive into. Because as you move through that fear and recognize that it's nothing really other than a cloud, you start to recognize that in this life, really, sincerely, there's nothing to be afraid of. You don't even have to be afraid of the times when you feel afraid. There's nothing to worry about, including your worry. That's fine too. Because ask yourself, what do you want in this life? What do you want? The mind says, oh, well, I want this job, or I want this relationship, or I want this experience. But do you see, in your wanting of that, what you want is the internal experience that you think it'll give you. You say, I want this job so that I can make enough money so I don't have to worry. Oh, okay, so you don't want to worry. Okay, so you want to feel at peace. Or I want this type of relationship because I want to feel loved. Okay, so it's not really that thing out there in the future. You want to feel love. Do you see this? Or I want this house because I want other people to think that I'm awesome. So really what you want is to just feel secure in your own being. You see, this is the miracle about what we are, is that in this world, all of the things tomorrow, the objects, the forms that are constantly changing, at its core, this isn't really what we want. What we want is what we really are, which is that joy, which is that peace, which is that love. Even though you might not be feeling it, it's there. And I have a sneaky suspicion that something within you knows that it's there. But are you willing to look? Are you willing to stop running, to stop chasing, and just to be still and to ask yourself, what's real? Is it true that I'm limited? Is it really true that I don't have enough? I mean, in this moment right now, is it true that you don't have enough? I mean, you're here right now, you're breathing. Yeah, you might not have everything you think that you want, but in order to just be what you are in this moment, you have everything that you need. And so the opportunity is to fall into this, to release the nonsense in the mind, which is simply recognizing that it's not you. It's not true. And you can watch it from this space of comedy. It's like, oh my goodness, there's all sorts of noise and nonsense. I hear my mom in here calling me names. You see, that's just conditioned mental thought. It's not really you. It's a pattern of thinking. And so when we start to recognize that this actually doesn't define who you are or where you need to go, that it's just noise, you can tap into something more sincere. You can tap into what you really want, which is the fullness of what you are. And my friend, the fullness of what you are only exists right now. This is where it's at. So are you willing to investigate what's here rather than trying to get to the future? Because I can promise you, whatever you find in this life, you're only going to find it in the space of now. You don't find anything in tomorrow. You don't find anything in the future. You discover a depth of the miracle that's breathing through you right now. And so, my friend, you are enough. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in order to see the lesson that moves you closer to the sincerity of your heart's desire. So I invite you to investigate this. And if it resonates, if the words that I'm saying sound like they touch your heart, there's something that feels true, then I invite you to check out what we're doing. You can go to my website, tigmonk.com. You can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/tigmonkey. On YouTube as well, tigmonk81. And if it doesn't resonate, all good. No worries. Still love you. All right. Hope to see you soon. Aloha and cheers to the beauty that you already are.